As the group traveled from office to office, I couldn't help but notice the warm reception they received from the bureaucrats and the seemingly never-ending ear the politicians lended in order to listen to this group of people who had come in to address a given issue. While in the back of my mind, however, I couldn't help but think that these politicians knew that if they simply sat and listened long enough, that eventually this group would go away just like all of the others have, and they would not have to do a damn thing to address any of the concerns, and they could go right back about their normal business of doing the things that they want to do. Now, when these senators enacted these stop-loss orders on these people, they sit protected behind layers and layers of security that were clearly visible all around the DC area. And they also know full well that there are many groups of armed men who will carry out these orders, and these soldiers will have no other option but to follow the words on paper endorsed by this group of politicians. However, as I watched the Iraqi veterans, who were nothing more than private citizens doing things on a voluntary basis, they knew that most of these senators had absolutely zero intention of following the stop-loss orders issued to them. The difference is this group of private citizens, these Iraqi veterans delivering the stop-loss orders, most likely wouldn't dream of hiring a group of armed men to enforce their orders on these senators. And at the same time, I couldn't help but wonder how many of these senators and House members actually took the time to think that their endorsement amounts to a death sentence for many men and women who are subject to these stop-loss orders currently serving in Iraq and Afghanistan.
She doesn't get stop-loss.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll pass it on.
Thank you.
I'm a constituent as well. Nothing.
So on Wednesday, when the legislators and the staff turn around and try to leave, we're not going to let them leave. There's going to be direct action to prevent them from going home in the same way that soldiers would experience MPs preventing them from leaving if they tried to leave when they were stop-loss.
Can you give us a hint as to what kind of direct action?
Essentially, we're not going to let them out of their offices. I'm not going to let them out of their office buildings.
Okay.
And the object is to make sure that at least a couple of entrances are blocked, and to at least get some of them to wake up. Some staff, some senators and congressmen. Of course, a lot of them drive to work, and so those some garage entrances may end up being a little blocked.
Okay.
And that's probably all I can really say.
So this will be civil disobedience done primarily by veterans of the Iraq War?
Well, there are some veterans who will participate and some who are informing. I'm going to say it's done primarily by students and youth and citizens, fundamentally, not necessarily veterans. But it's, again, keyed off the stop-loss policies that affect veterans or even active duty, of course, the most.
As we parted ways, I sincerely hope that these veterans were correct, that their actions over the last 3 days would make a difference, would cause someone to sit up and take notice, to think about their own actions. However, I also couldn't help but think that it's government and politicians who create wars, it's governments that keep them going, and it's two things that enable it all: your belief in government and your money to pay for it. I'm Sam, this is OTN.